NSFW, what weird thing happened at a sleepover when you were younger? My friend had a bunch of friends over for his birthday. His parents left us alone for the most part. Anyhow, we were wrestling in the basement when his older sister came down to see what's going on. She was a year older than him, and she hung out with us for a while. However, another friend accidentally ruined the birthday cake before it was brought out, so the mother went with my friend to pick out a new cake. They left his sister in charge of the house. Anyhow, while they were gone, this guy convinced her to give him a blowjob, and all of a sudden everyone wanted one. She went around giving 6 guys blowjobs when her mother walked into the basement and started screaming at her in Hindi when she saw what her daughter was doing. We were all sent home and never allowed back. Nothing too extreme like most these comments might be, but when I was in 4th grade, my best friend and I were playing this game where insults were compliments and vice versa. Well, after some back and forth between us, I said, "Yeah, well, you have a big dick." As soon as his dad opened the door, I stumbled on my words trying to explain the situation, and my friend couldn't stop laughing. His dad looked at me and his son in disappointment and shut the door. Talk about bad timing. A friend had a sleepover. She invited me to for her birthday one year. We were in middle school and she was the only girl I knew. I didn't know any of her other friends. One of them suggests a game of truth or dare. They started daring each other to do sexual things. It started with making out and progressed to dares to perform oral sex on the other girls. If you refused to participate, they got to punch you in the arm as hard as they could. I was a very good girl. I didn't participate in anything, performing or receiving. My mom asked me where the fuck I had gotten bruises all over my body. I told her we'd been jumping on the bed and I kept getting accidentally kicked. 6ish, 7ish. Sleepover at a friend's house. His dad apparently went to the bar and picked up some hood rats while we were supposed to be asleep. We hear Al Green and smell smoke. Look out, his dad's going to town on this one chick while another is sitting there topless, calmly rolling joints on an album cover. I was riding the bus to school with a gay friend and asked him how and when he knew he was gay, since he'd never done anything sexual that I knew of with anyone. I was curious how he was so sure. Kind of stupid these days, but this was a while ago and I was young and dumb. We were both 15, 16, something like that. This was over 20 years ago now. He told me, well, the last time I had a sleepover, after everybody went to sleep, I took out Robert's penis and kind of played with it and put in my mouth and stuff. And you liked it? I guess. Yeah. I mean, he stayed soft, but it was really fun to play with. Penises are awesome. That's fucked up, man. You shouldn't do that to people. You totally raped Robbie. No. He was asleep. He doesn't know I did it, so it doesn't count. It still counts. You can't fucking fuck someone who's sleeping and just say it's okay. I didn't fuck him. He barely got hard. It was mostly just soft and squishy, and you know, I flipped it around. It was fun. That doesn't make it okay. You having fun doesn't stop it from being fucked up. Well, it wasn't just him. I tried everybody out. I wanted to see different ones. Sam got hard. Oh my god. How many guys were there? 4. But I didn't do anything to Eric. But, you like Eric? He had a major crush on him. Exactly. Dude, you raped 3 guys, but left the one you're actually attracted to alone. I didn't rape them. I just, you know, played with them and put them in your mouth. That doesn't count. This conversation continued for the entire bus ride to school. I know he didn't mean anything bad by any of it, but it's still pretty fucking fucked up. Distant cousins would visit us when I was younger. Female cousin and I were at that age where we weren't exactly sure what was going on with our bodies. We slept together thinking nothing of it, but being the horny kid that I was, I spooned her with my preteen boner rubbing up on her butt. She wiggled back and we pretty much dry humped. Only happened once and never mentioned at all. Slept over at my friend's place while in 8th grade. His sister was a year older and was always flirting with me. Well, it is late one night and she is watching a movie on the floor while I sleep above her on the couch. I wake up to feeling my hand being guided underneath some clothing. Turns out this is my first boob action I ever had. We kept this going on throughout our high school years. She used to give me rides home from school and I would fondle her the whole way home. Things escalated as we got older. I still miss those days. Not so much a sleepover as a party that ended, and we all kind of just crashed where we were. Anyhow, I had just graduated high school and was about to leave for Marine Corps boot camp in a week. I wanted to get laid before I left, of course. There was this girl that was going into senior year that kind of liked me for a while. We found this little room with a couch in the basement and get to talking. Things progressed pretty quickly and I had some of the best sex I have ever had in my life that night. 3 times. Well, each time I did not have any condoms, so I would pull out and come in her socks. Her idea. After all was said and done, I took her home in the morning and then proceeded to tell my friends what I had done. The poor girl became known as Socko for her senior year. Truth or dare at a sleepover. Got 4 girls topless at one time. One used a door knob to demonstrate how she cradles and licks a ballsack during a BJ. I got stuck dry humping a mattress. At another sleepover, I had to take a shower with a very obese girl. We had to scrub one another. At that same sleepover, I got a handy from a friend's girlfriend. I think he actually dared her to do it, but it was still awkward. It was like a quick 5-second okay, I jacked your dick type of handy. Stayed at a friend's house. His sister also had a friend stay over. She woke me up and wanted to talk to me and wanted to give me a blowjob. Took me to the couch and went at it. Pulled her titties out and used them. Went to the freezer, got her ice cube and crushed it in her mouth and started sucking again. Then there was awkwardness and she stopped and looked over and my friend's dad was watching. He mumbled something and went to his room and we went to the basement to finish. Finally, a place I can tell my story. So, when I was about 13, my buddies and I were staying at Steve's house for his birthday. Being the little punks we were, we had a Nerf fight in his mom's basement, which was full of nice knickknacks. Naturally, they got broken, along with Jimmy's foot, after he fell down the stairs. As our punishment, we had to turn out the lights around 8. Jimmy, being the sip he was, slept with his bad foot out of his sleeping bag, while a couple of the others played let's sword fight with PVC pipes in the dark. Naturally, Jimmy's ankle was hit, and he woke quite quickly. Being the stupid kids we were, at some point, a china figurine fell behind the cabinet, and Jimmy was instructed to get it out. Try as he might, he couldn't reach it. The idea of using an item from the bathroom to grab it out was brought up, to which Jimmy replied, I can't find anything longer than a ½ inch in here. Since we were 13-year-old boys, Jimmy's new nickname Halfinch was born as soon as he fell back asleep. Here's the real kicker. Jimmy was a sleepwalker, and around 4 AM, Jimmy got up, went into the closet, and started caressing the vacuum, gibbering about shaving cream and sleep. Naturally, Jimmy got continual crap about this all the way through high school, where he eventually became a loner and graduated with only a few friends. Wanna hear the best part? I'm Jimmy. We were probably around 10 to 11. My best childhood friend and I were left home alone to our own devices for a while at his house, while our parents got piled at my house. We were next door neighbors and our families were close. We were dicking around in his older, sexy, high school age sister's room when my friend pulled a tampon out of her drawer and started to wave it around. I said something like, yo, how do those things even work, or get really into Eminem, when my friend decides to show me and shove said tampon up his ass. He pulled it out slowly and we both realized with horror that it was, in fact, covered with shit. He did the sensible thing and threw it at the wall while we both screamed like schoolgirls and were too grossed out to clean it up. Our dads still tell this story to our new girlfriends, just to warn them that we might be gay. One of my favorite childhood memories. Not very NSFW, but I still wouldn't post it in a SFW version of this thread. I was probably like 9. My best friend, he still is, was over, staying the night. All good. We'd played some Minecraft, like you did 10 years ago, and then we went to have dinner. He's never been a big eater, and he's always had difficulties with social gatherings, so a condition for him coming over used to be that he wouldn't have to eat with my family. I was too much of an idiotic douchenozzle to get the idea of waiting and eating with him. Anyhow, after the meal, I get back to my room, where he's standing in the middle, eyes on the floor. He's looking ashamed, sad, and ready for a scolding, beating, or whatever. There was an accident, he said. I instantly thought he'd broken one of my toys or something, but it was so much better. From behind his back, he took his hand to show me his shit-stained underwear. Remember, we were 9 years old. I showered while you ate and borrowed a pair of your underwear. Strange as it may sound, I've never felt closer to a friend than I did that particular moment. I remember smiling a bit and how I told him we could go down to the laundry room later to wash them without anyone noticing. The fact that he comfortably used my shower and took my underwear without asking felt good, just because I knew how dire his social and general anxiety was. It was a confirmation to me that he trusted me deeply. When I was in middle school, one of my friends had her party at a hotel and we were supposed to stay overnight there, chaperoned by her mom. Of course, none of us would have been able to go. However, once we got there, her mom had checked in and took off, leaving us to our own devices. One of the girls had brought glow-in-the-dark body paint and they all decided to strip naked and paint themselves while drinking some beer that the mom had supplied us with. We were only 13. Some tame lesbian activity occurs. Then, they decided that it would be a good idea to go to the hotel pool, which was officially closed at the time, and skinny dip. Me and one other girl were the only ones who refused to participate. I was pretty sheltered as a kid, so all of this was really shocking to me. The hotel manager ended up kicking us out of the pool area, but surprisingly, we just got to go back to our rooms, unattended. Her mom must have known the owner or something. If my mom would have known what was going on at that party, I just told her I had a good time and left it at that. The first time I slept over at a girl's house I was in 6th grade, and it was the group from an extracurricular activity. It was her birthday. The parents thought it'd be innocent, but we were old enough to be little shits. We spent most of the night contriving a makeout scheme on the girls. One of them expressed interest in that stupid game where you press on someone's chest until they pass out. We didn't press very hard. Nobody passed out, but everyone pretty much touched all the boobs. The birthday girl puked, but being a kid, rallied immediately. We played some version of hide and seek in the dark, but instead I made out with one of the girls under a pool table. 14-15Y/0 I stayed the night with my best friend. His younger sister was friends with a girl a little older than her. We were downstairs on the living room couch watching Adult Swim, and she asks if I want to give her a massage. Of course I do, so she laid down, and I started massaging. Eventually she took off her bra and got some lotion so our massaging would be less hindered. I eventually worked my way down and started feeling on her side boob. I ended up fingerblasting her and she gave me what was, I'm pretty sure, my second hand job ever. The whole time my friend is trying to watch and I'm motioning to him to gtfo. We all go upstairs and go to bed after that. Of course she tells my friend's little sister tells her older cousin, and older cousin tells my friend's mom. His mom calls me into her room one night, not in the way you're thinking. In so many words she tells me to feel free to jerk off in the bathroom if I feel the need to, that she understands that it's an awkward time sexually, but to please refrain from fingerblasting her daughter's friends on the living room couch. I turned a million different shades of red. His mom handled it really gracefully and skillfully. Looking back, I'm impressed by her level-headedness about it all. My parents would never have handled it that well. Strip poker at a cast and crew party for a middle school production of The Secret Garden. That was the first time I saw boobies out in the open. Glorious. The nudity lasted maybe all of 15 minutes, but 40 years later I can still see every second of it in my mind. We all paid hell for it in school and with our parents over the next couple of weeks, but the detention and grounding were well worth it at 10 times the price. We were like 12. There were 6 of us. Lots of shit happened. We started talk about girls and showed this kid porn for the first time and he came in his pants. Another kid was dead to put on his dad's condom and put his dick between other dudes' ass cheeks. He did. Some kid snuck off to go poop. We heard his porn going as he jacked off in the bathroom. A kid snuck in through the bathroom window and caught him in the act. We stayed up all night and then the dares escalated to blowjobs. Someone dared a kid to lick my dick. I was like, this is gay ASF, but I was super horny from all the porn, so I let it happen. Instantly regretted it, but we were young and dumb, and I've never questioned my sexuality from it. Apparently experimenting like this when kids are young is super common. Okay, it's not common. I used to smoke weed, and I had a lot of friends who did. We used to party with this girl that had her own grandma quarters in the back of the regular house, where she would throw parties. One night she invited me to come smoke with her and her friend. I show up with my best friend and we started smoking. The two girls told my friend to go hang out in the other room, and that they had to talk to me. As soon as he leaves the room they turn off the light and throw me on the bed and start taking their clothes off. They each took turns giving me a BJ as I traded makeouts and finger bangs. One of the best nights of my early high school memories. Ended up staying the night sleeping with the two girls till morning. It was a LAN party at my place. It was sometime in the wee hours of the morning. I had been dominating with Skeleton King, but people were getting bored. The Mountain Dew and pizza were working their way through our systems, so we decided light our farts on fire. If you've ever lit a fart before, then you know to leave your boxes on, so you don't burn your asshole. Well anyway, we had been passing the lighter around, and most people had managed to light one, except for Matt. Matt only seemed to be flatulent when the lighter was not in his possession. So Matt thinks he has a big one coming. We give him the lighter, and he assumes the position. He rips the biggest fat of the night. The flames were huge, only for a turd to fall out of his drawers. When he stood up, we about died from laughter. TLDR, epic fart lighting turns into turd dropping. So I think we were 12 at a Summon's birthday sleepover. Well, me and my two best friends were invited, but not close to anyone including the birthday girl. We broke off from the group to go talk. About an hour later the birthday girl parent found us and brought us back to the group and told everyone to call their parents. Apparently the other girls had been watching internet porn.